Um, Hello, Virgo. Okay, stop. Stop scrolling. Stop pretending you are just passing time. Stop telling yourself that the unease you have been carrying in your gut for days is just stress or indigestion or your usual overthinking. It is not. What is churning inside you right now is your intuition screaming through a locked door, and I am here to hand you the key. Someone is lying about you. Not a little white lie, not a misunderstanding that can be cleared up over coffee, not a petty rumor that dies in the hallway before it reaches the main street. This is a systematic, architectural, deliberate campaign of falsehood. This person is speaking your name in rooms you have never entered, painting your character with colors that do not belong to you, constructing a version of Virgo so distorted, so grotesque, so completely unrecognizable that the people hearing it would never know it was ever meant to be you. And Virgo, the worst part, the part that is going to make your hands shake when you finally let yourself feel it, is that they are not just lying to strangers. They are lying to people who matter, people who trust them, people who, until this moment, trusted you. Before I pull back every layer of this deception and show you the rotting foundation underneath, if your heart just dropped, if a name surfaced in your mind like a corpse rising through ice, if you have been feeling the weight of something unseen pressing against your reputation like a smothering pillow, then anchor yourself here. Support this channel by liking this transmission, subscribing, and leaving your energy in the comments below. These messages are survival kits for the spirit, Virgo. They find the exact soul who is standing in the crossfire of a lie, and your engagement keeps the signal strong for every other Virgo who is being buried alive under someone else's fiction. Now, breathe. Because what I am about to show you is not pretty. It is not gentle. It is not the kind of spiritual pep talk that wraps you in cotton and tells you everything happens for a reason. This is war. This is spiritual warfare being waged through the weapon of narrative, and the person wielding that weapon is someone you know, someone you trusted, someone who sat across from you, broke bread with you, looked into your eyes, and smiled while they were already sharpening the blade they intended to plunge into your back. I see them clearly in my vision. I see their mouth moving. I see the way their hands gesture when they speak your name. A performance of concern so rehearsed it would earn them awards in a theater of cruelty. They are not just gossiping. They are not venting. They are directing, producing, casting. They have written a script in which you are the villain, and they are screening it for anyone who will buy a ticket. Let me tell you exactly what I see, because specificity is what separates intuition from paranoia, and you need to know that what you have been sensing is real. I see this person in a room. It might be a living room. It might be an office. It might be a group chat that you are not in, a thread that buzzes with your name while your phone stays silent. They are leaning forward, lowering their voice, creating the illusion of intimacy and confidentiality. They say your name. Then they pause. They let the weight of the pause do the work. They tilt their head. They sigh. And then they begin. They speak of you with a tone that suggests they are reluctant, that they do not want to say this, that they have been holding back out of loyalty, but now, finally, they must speak the truth for everyone's own good. It is a masterclass in manipulation, Virgo. A performance so polished that even you, if you were in the room and did not know the subject was you, might be tempted to believe them. They speak of moments you do not remember because they never happened. They recount conversations that occurred only in their imagination. They describe your reactions, your words, your intentions with a confidence that makes their audience nod along, because who would lie with such detail unless they had witnessed it firsthand? They are saying you are cold. they are saying that behind your kindness is calculation. They are telling people that your generosity is a trap, that every gift you have ever given was a down payment on control, that every time you helped someone, you were actually keeping a ledger of debt. They are whispering that you are emotionally unstable, that you have episodes, that you say one thing and mean another, that your silence is not contemplation but punishment, that your boundaries are not self-respect but weapons. They are telling mutual friends, colleagues, family members that they tried to love you, tried to help you, tried to save you from yourself, but that you are too far gone, too toxic, too wrapped up in your own narrative to see how much damage you leave behind. And Virgo, the lie is so layered, so seasoned with just enough truth to make it palatable that people are swallowing it whole. They are digesting it. They are making it part of their understanding of who you are. And every time they look at you now, they see the ghost of the story this person has planted. They see the mask that this liar has described instead of your face. But here is what makes this truly devastating, Virgo. This person is not just attacking your character. They are rewriting your history. They are going back through shared memories and twisting them. That time you were overwhelmed and needed space. They are telling people you abandoned them in their hour of need. That time you set a boundary because they were disrespectful. They are telling people you flew into a rage and cut them off for no reason. That time you were vulnerable and shared a fear, a wound, a secret. They are using it as evidence of your instability, your irrationality, your dangerousness. They have taken every act of authenticity you ever offered them and fed it into a machine that manufactures monsters. And the output is a version of you that bears your name but carries none of your soul. It is a golem, a construct, a scarecrow dressed in your clothes, positioned in the fields of your social circle to frighten anyone who might have been drawn to your light. I am channeling the energy of their true intentions right now, Virgo, and what I see beneath the performance is so dark it makes my own energy recoil. This is not about protecting others from you. This is not about setting the record straight. This is not about their hurt feelings or a misunderstanding that got out of hand. This is about possession. This is about control. This is about a person who looked at your growth, your independence, your rising power, and felt something inside them blacken with terror. They realized that you were no longer available for their manipulation. They realized that your boundaries had become walls they could not climb. They realized that the old tactics, the guilt trips, the silent treatments, the intermittent reinforcement that kept you dancing for their approval no longer worked on the version of you that had done the work, healed the wounds, and stepped into sovereignty. And instead of celebrating your evolution, instead of stepping back with grace and admitting that they had lost access to you, they chose annihilation. If they could not have you, they would destroy the possibility of anyone else having you. If they could not control you, they would control the story about you. If they could not possess your energy, they would poison the well so thoroughly that anyone who approached you would drink their venom first and see you through eyes blurred by toxin. They are lying about your relationships, Virgo. They are telling people that you are the reason every connection in your past failed. They are implying with careful, plausible deniability that you drove people away with your demands, your intensity, your impossible standards. They are suggesting that the love you gave was conditional, that the support you offered was transactional, that the loyalty you showed was actually a leash. They are saying these things to people who are currently in your life, planting seeds of doubt that will bloom into distance. They want your circle to shrink. They want your phone to stop ringing. They want the invitations to dry up. They want you to look around one day and find yourself standing in an empty room, wondering where everyone went, not realizing that this person has been systematically evacuating your life one whisper at a time. They want you isolated. They want you questioning yourself. They want you so starved for connection that you come crawling back to them, begging for the truth, willing to accept their version of reality just to have someone to talk to. That is the end game, Virgo. That is the true intention behind every lie. Not justice, not clarity, not protection of others, possession through destruction, reclamation through desolation. And they are lying about your present, too. They are fabricating stories about things you have supposedly done recently, encounters that never happened, messages you never sent, behaviors they claim to have witnessed that are so far from your character that you would laugh if you heard them, except that people are believing them. They are saying you are talking about people behind their backs, revealing secrets, stirring drama, when in fact you have been more silent than ever. They are projecting every ugly impulse of their own psyche onto your blank canvas and then displaying the painting to anyone who will look. They tell one person you are obsessed with them. They tell another you are jealous of their success. They tell a third that you are scheming, plotting, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Every listener gets a different version of the lie, tailored to their specific fears and insecurities, so that each person who hears it feels personally threatened by you. It is diabolical in its precision. It is surgical in its cruelty. And it is working, Virgo. It is working because you are not there to defend yourself. You are not in those rooms. You are not on those calls. You are not reading those texts. You are living your life, assuming that the people who know you would never believe such absurdity, not realizing that the human mind is wired to believe a story well told, especially when it is told by someone who claims to have insider knowledge. I see the audience, Virgo. I see the faces of the people listening to these lies. Some of them are eating it up because they were already envious of you. Your light has always made them uncomfortable, and now they have been handed a justification for their resentment. They can finally say, I knew there was something off about Virgo. I knew that perfection was too good to be true. Others are genuinely confused. They thought they knew you. They are now looking back at every interaction through the lens of this new narrative, wondering if they missed the signs, wondering if your kindness was actually manipulation, wondering if the peace they felt around you was just their own naivety. They are questioning their own judgment, and that self-doubt makes them angry, and they direct that anger at you because you are the one who made them feel foolish for trusting. Then there are the few, the precious few, who are not buying it, who feel a knot in their stomach when they hear these stories, who look at this liar and sense the rot beneath the perfume. But they are afraid to speak up. They are afraid of becoming the next target. They are watching in silence, waiting for you to say something, to do something, to give them a signal that it is safe to defend you. And Virgo, that signal is coming, but not in the way you think. Because here is what this liar does not understand. Here is what their true intentions have blinded them to. They think that by controlling the narrative, they control you. They think that if enough people believe you are the monster, you will eventually become the monster in your own mind. They think that isolation will break you, that slander will bend you, that the weight of collective misunderstanding will crush you into submission. But they have made a fatal miscalculation. They do not understand that you are a Virgo. They do not understand that your power has never come from popularity. Your power has never come from the approval of the mob. Your power comes from truth. And truth is not a story that can be told. It is a frequency that can only be felt. And while they are busy constructing their elaborate fiction, you are emitting your frequency quietly, consistently, unstoppably. Every lie they tell creates a counter vibration in the universe. Every falsehood they speak sends out a ripple that eventually returns to them amplified. They are building a gallows with their own words, and they do not realize that the rope is already around their neck. I am seeing the collapse, Virgo. I am seeing it in the energetic field, like a movie playing in fast forward. The lies are reaching too far. They are becoming too elaborate. The liar, drunk on the power of their own performance, is getting sloppy. They are contradicting themselves. They are telling one person you are cold and calculating, and another that you are emotionally volatile and unpredictable. They are claiming you are obsessed with them while simultaneously insisting you have forgotten they exist. The inconsistencies are piling up like dry kindling, and all it will take is one spark. One person brave enough to say, "Wait, that does not sound like Virgo." One person willing to compare notes instead of accepting the narrative in isolation, and that spark is coming. It is already traveling toward the pyre they have built, and when it lands, the conflagration will be visible for miles. Their credibility will not just be damaged, it will be incinerated. And the people who stood in the smoke of their lies, choking on the toxicity, will emerge blinking into the light and see you exactly as you have always been. Not perfect, not without flaw, but honest, authentic, incapable of the malice they attributed to you. Your silence right now is not weakness, Virgo. Do not let them convince you otherwise. Do not let their provocations draw you into a public battle that would only legitimize their fiction. Do not run around trying to correct every lie, because that is exactly what they want. They want you frantic. They want you defensive. They want you pleading your case to people who have already decided they prefer the drama of the lie to the simplicity of the truth. Your silence is a blade. Your absence from their stage is the spotlight that reveals them as the only actor in a one-person show. Every time they speak your name and you do not flinch. Every time they invent a new scandal and you do not respond. Every time they reach for you and find only air, their power diminishes. They are feeding on reaction. They are starving for your attention. And you are withholding the only currency they value. That is not passivity. That is strategy. That is the martial art of spiritual warfare, and you are mastering it without lifting a finger. I want to speak to the part of you that is hurting, because I know you are. I know that beneath your composure, beneath your practical assessment of the situation, there is a child inside you who is screaming, "Why? Why are they doing this? What did I do to deserve this? Did I really hurt them that badly? Is there something wrong with me that I cannot see?" Those questions are the hooks they have planted, Virgo. Those doubts are the real target of their campaign. They do not just want your reputation. They want your self-trust. They want you so twisted up in self-examination that you lose the very clarity that makes you powerful. And I am here to tell you, with every ounce of my channeling ability, that you did nothing to deserve this. Nothing to provoke this, nothing that justifies the level of destruction they are attempting to visit upon your life. Their actions are not a response to your flaws. Their actions are a response to your light. They are burning because you shine, and instead of adjusting their own eyes, they are trying to put out your fire. That is not your fault. That is their limitation. That is their spiritual bankruptcy. And you are not required to dim yourself because they are blind. The truth about their intentions is darker than simple jealousy, Virgo. I see it now. This person is not just envious. They are empty. They are a vessel with no contents of their own, and they have been trying to fill themselves with you for years. Your energy, your ideas, your emotional labor, your attention, your forgiveness. They have been siphoning from you since the moment you met, and when you finally pulled the plug, when you recognized the drain and chose yourself, they experienced a withdrawal so profound it felt like dying. And instead of facing that emptiness, instead of doing the work to become a source rather than a sink, they chose to destroy the source they could no longer access. If they cannot drink from your well, they will poison it. That is the true intention. That is the architecture of their malice. It is not personal in the way they think it is. It is parasitical. They are not attacking Virgo. They are attacking the light they can no longer consume. And that distinction matters because it means that nothing you could have done differently would have changed the outcome. Once you stopped feeding them, your destruction became their only option for survival. They are not fighting you. They are fighting their own obsolescence, and they are losing. I see the people around you beginning to wake up, Virgo. It starts small. A hesitation in someone's voice when they repeat the lie back to you. A glance that lingers a second too long, searching your face for the monster they were promised and finding only confusion and hurt. A question asked with genuine curiosity instead than accusation. Are you okay? I heard something strange. Is there any truth to it? These are the cracks in the dam. These are the first rays of light penetrating the fog. And as the liar escalates, as they become more desperate, more outrageous, more obviously unhinged in their campaign against you, those cracks widen. People start talking, not about you, about them. About the fact that no one person can be the victim of so many different versions of the same person without the storyteller being the common denominator. They start to notice that every story this person tells ends with them as the innocent, wounded hero and everyone else as the villain. They start to remember that you, Virgo, have never spoken about this person the way this person speaks about you. They start to feel the imbalance, the injustice, the stench of projection, and slowly, quietly, inevitably, the tide turns. You will not need to orchestrate this exposure, Virgo. The universe is handling it. The same force that whispers truth into your ear in the quiet moments is whispering into the ears of those who need to hear it. Synchronicities are aligning. Evidence is surfacing. The liar is making mistakes, leaving digital trails, contradicting their own testimony, alienating the very people they recruited to their cause. It is unraveling. The fiction is collapsing under the weight of its own complexity because lies are heavy and truth is light, and gravity always wins. You will watch from your place of peace as the people who believed the worst about you come back one by one, not with grand apologies, but with sheepishness, with embarrassment, with the quiet shame of having been fooled. Some will admit it, some will simply resume their friendship as if nothing happened, too proud to name their betrayal. Let them come back however they can. Do not demand penance. Do not make them grovel. Your forgiveness is not required for your victory. Your victory is already written in the stars they cannot read. And Virgo, when this is over, when the smoke clears and the liar is left standing in the rubble of their own making, surrounded by the ashes of their credibility, you will be exactly where you are now, standing, breathing, intact, perhaps bruised but unbroken, perhaps scarred but more beautiful for the wisdom the scars contain. You will not have needed to destroy them. You will not have needed to match their energy. You will not have needed to tell a single lie of your own, your truth, your frequency. Your simple refusal to participate in their theater will have been enough, more than enough. It will have been the antidote to their poison, the light that revealed their shadows, the silence that drowned out their noise. You will walk away from this not just vindicated, but elevated, not just innocent, but wise, not just surviving, but thriving, in a clarity that only those who have been lied about and remain true can ever know. The person lying about you thinks they are winning, Virgo. They think every converted ear is a victory. They think every friendship they have stolen from you is a trophy. They think that the silence from your corner is an admission of guilt, that your refusal to engage is evidence that you have no defense. They are so wrong, so catastrophically, cosmically wrong. Your silence is not emptiness, it is fullness, too powerful to be poured into their shallow cup. Your absence from their narrative is not surrender. It is the recognition that their story is too small to contain you. Your refusal to defend yourself is not weakness. It is the strength of someone who knows that the truth does not need a lawyer. The truth defends itself. The truth persists. The truth outlasts every lie ever told. And when the liar has exhausted themselves, when their tongue is swollen from speaking poison, when their audience has drifted away in search of authentic connection, the truth will still be standing, quiet, solid, immovable, and you will be standing with it. Guard your heart, Virgo. Do not let their lies colonize your self-image. Do not let their fiction rewrite your memory of who you are. You are not the monster they describe. You are not the villain in their play. You are not cold or calculating or cruel or unstable or toxic or any of the other words they are throwing at you like stones. You are a human being who loved someone who was incapable of receiving love without trying to own it. You are a soul who set boundaries and was punished for having the audacity to say no. You are a light that refused to be dimmed, and the darkness is screaming because it has never seen a light it could not extinguish until now. If this message found you in the exact moment you needed it, if you felt the truth of this exposure vibrating through your bones, if you know now with absolute certainty that what you suspected was real and that your silence is your sword, then claim this victory right now. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment below declaring that the truth is your shield and no lie can touch what the universe has claimed. Speak it, anchor it, make it real in the physical world by putting your energy behind your words. The liar has had their season, Virgo, but the season of truth is beginning. And you, sovereign and unbroken, are about to watch every false word dissolve in the brilliance of what you have always been. Stay true, stay quiet, stay powerful, and let the world see what happens when someone tries to bury a light that was born to rise.